obviously good for us to get another win. We're continuing to play well offensively. These guys certainly contributed a great deal for our success here tonight. Cian shot the ball really well in the first half. Jahari's defense, I think, helped us a great deal in terms of getting a big lead at halftime. I wish we had taken care of the basketball a little bit better. But there's still room for us to grow as a group, which is a positive. You don't want to be playing your best basketball today. You want to see rooms for development and rooms for improvement while winning games. So happy we got the win, and happy that I think we have a lot of room to still get better.
Open up for questions for our student athletes.
Hey, Jahari, Coach talked about your defense. I think today 71 points was a season low for the team. How would you say you guys have really the trajectory of the defense since the start of the season today? How much you guys have improved?
I feel like we improved a lot. Just coach and hopping on us, just playing defense and just getting a lot of stops because we have the offensive side, but we need to get better on the defensive side. So I feel like we got better.
And Cian, it's kind of unusual, you guys playing the same team twice in a week here. What did you guys take from that first game against Cleveland State down in West Virginia that you wanted to build off of going into today and facing them again?
Well, the most important thing was rebounding for us. We felt like the first time we played them, they really got on us when it came to hitting the glass and stuff like that. And honestly, I feel like playing them again was something good for us going into conference play. We got to play teams twice. So, we take that with a grain of salt, understanding that we got to make adjustments and stuff like that. So, most importantly, that game was about hitting the glass. I felt like we hit the glass pretty well. We set the tone from the beginning. So that was pretty much.
Jahari had a couple threes early to start the game. Even for a shooter like yourself, as good of a shooter as you are, when you see teammates start out like that, how much does that fuel you to the type of game you had today?
It's exciting to see, the rest of the guys, show the work that they put in over the summer and stuff, be able to show it in the game and stuff like that. So it's exciting to see my teammates, when they hit shots. I'm probably the happiest. I'm probably happier than they are for themselves, because seeing them hit shots is a team sport. They put a lot of work in. When you see your teammates hit shots, you should be excited for them.
Cian, you had 21 points today, and I think all of them were from three. Can you just talk about that mindset that you go into when you just find that groove from deep?
We put a lot of time in the gym and stuff like that. So, I know when I'm open to shoot with as much confidence as possible, live with the misses, be thankful for the makes and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what it is.
You guys kind of had some games bunched together. Now you like a week before your next game. I mean, how much do you think that's going to help you guys now?
Now we could just, for a couple of days, we could get to focusing on what we need to work on with ourselves before we play again on Saturday, stuff like that. Get in the gym this week, keep working on our defensive end of the ball and stuff like that. Try to improve every day. Every day is going to be a new challenge for us. Every game is a new challenge for us. And, just focus on ourselves till our next game. And that's pretty much it.
Would you guys think of Rico's dunk?
I just told him in the locker room, that was the craziest in-game dunk I ever seen. So, the confidence that he got to do a windmill when there's somebody literally 2 inches behind him, that just shows who he is as a person and his confidence. And I'm excited for what he's got going right now. And it's only the beginning for that guy. He puts a lot of time in. There's a lot of time.
How do you guys feel overall about the depth you guys have on your team? I saw that you guys have 5 total players with double digits today. Just go on more about that.
I feel like that right there just comes from, again, the work we put in. Every guy being ready when it's their time and stuff like that. Staying ready is the most important thing for us. I feel like we definitely are a very, very deep team. You know what I'm saying? So we got a lot of bigs, we got guards, stuff like that. So that's going to be an advantage that we have all year.
Already want to take that question too.
Yeah, I just have a lot of confidence in all my teammates, right? So I'm always going to make that one more pass. I'm always going to hit the roll. And, I just have confidence that they're going to make the shot.
Questions for Coach?
Rob, just maybe the improvements you've seen on the defensive end of the court from day one until now.
Well, the first half, if you had asked me at halftime, I would have told you there was great improvement. The second half, we gave up 46 points, so I didn't think there was much in the second half. So, I think there's still a long way for us to go on that end of the court. But the first half, we were certainly really, really locked in defensively. And we need to still, on that end of the floor, put 40 minutes together.
Playing them again for the second time in a week. I mean, talked about a couple weeks ago how unusual that is for a team. But
It's certainly not ideal, but it's a learning experience for us. I mean, that's how we used it. What I did was I looked up how many times teams played in the last week of the regular season and then played in the conference tournament and lost last year, where they won the last regular season and then lost in the conference tournament. That happened 11 times last year. So, when we beat them last weekend, that was sitting in the board in our locker room, since Wednesday. All 11 times where somebody won game one on a Tuesday and then played them 5 days later and lost. And just making sure that our guys understood that just because we beat them on last Saturday, that had nothing to do with what was going to happen today. And this game was very different. Last week we scored a lot of points in the paint. They made a real concerted effort for us to not beat them inside, and we didn't. We had to find a different way to score, and we shot the ball really well from three. Last game we went to the free throw line a ton. We did not get to the free throw line this game much at all. So, but we shot the ball well. We did not give up offensive rebounds. That was something, Cian made that mention, that, we showed the same way they showed their guys clips of things that they needed to fix. We showed our guys clips of things we needed to fix, which was our defensive rebounding. And they only had 4 offensive rebounds on the game. So that was a big emphasis for us. Like, we have to block out at every position. Now, they were also playing shorthanded. One of their really good guards did not play today, and I'm sure that had an impact on how they performed. But I was pleased with how we rebounded. I was pleased with how we shared the ball, and I was certainly pleased with how we shot the ball. But defensively, first half great. Second half, we have to be able to string 40 minutes together defensively still as we move forward.
You had a 16-12 lead with a little over 11 minutes to go in the first half. Can you talk about how well that run was to end the first half? I feel like that was like the moment of the game that helped you guys pull away for good.
Yeah, I think most of that comes from getting stops. That's the key to be able to stretch out a lead. You have to get consecutive stops. That's the whole way you go on a run in basketball is you have to score and then stop the other team, whether it's through a turnover or through a missed rebound, and get out in transition and score again. And then maybe the other team takes a quick shot, rebound, get out and score again, or create a turnover. And we were able to do that, at that moment that you mentioned when it was 16-12, and get ourselves some separation. And we did it at a point in the second half too, where we stretched it out in the second half, where the start of the second half we were not crisp again, but we were able to stretch it out at one point during the second half too. And that again comes from, we call them knockouts, when you get 3 straight stops in a row. And when you're able to get those 3 in a row, your transition gets going. You're able to get, if it's a 3, maybe you go on a 9-0 run in 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and that's what allows you to get separation. So our focus, is continuing to get those type of consecutive stops. In the first half, I know we had a couple plays. There was a play Rayvon had where he sprinted back and had a block shot that got us going in transition. That was a huge play in the game. We got to continue to do those things over 40 minutes. All right, thanks everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone too.
Thank you too, Coach.
Thanks.